good morning. If you've never been to this part of the world before and I say Maastricht, chances are you'll think of the treaty that brought us this, the euro. And that was certainly the case for me. I knew nothing about this place, and I still don't. So today we're just going to go for a random wander around the city and see what we find. And if you fancy joining me, you're in the right place. This is where I'm staying, by the way, Hotel du Casque. You're going to hear a lot of mispronunciation today, sorry about that. Very nice place though, right in the centre of town. Just in there. As you can probably tell by the lack of people, I'm starting today's vlog fairly early. It's not quite 8 AM yet, and that's because of weather. We've got some dodgy weather due around midday, so I'm going to try and scoot around, see as much as I can before then, and then we can probably just retreat to the hotel for a couple of hours and then head out again. And this evening the Netherlands are playing England in the Euros, the semi-final, so we need to try and find somewhere to watch that. You can see the sky's not looking too promising over there, but we'll just see how we get on. We'll deal with whatever it throws at us, eh? Now my dates for coming here were fairly fixed, and that's because hotel prices were very much affected by this guy being in town. Rieu, is that how you say his name? But anyway, this is his stage set up here behind me. He's got 9 concerts in town and he's very popular. Wonder if we can get a wee sneaky peek here. There's a lot going on. His next concert's tomorrow night. Can you see that? Now I believe it's some show he puts on. In fact, just here behind these bottles, this picture is from Maastricht because I can recognise that church in the background, and the stage is absolutely massive. Wow, that looks fantastic, doesn't it? Look at this. Now of course, with Andre being a bit of a Dutch legend, all 9 dates here are sold out, so I couldn't have gone even if I could afford it, which I couldn't. But I tell you what, I bet all these restaurants will be busy tomorrow night. With the stage being just right there behind me, I really wish I was in town for this, because I'm sure you'd hear everything, but like I say, hotel prices said no. Oh, no way, you're joking. Look who was on stage the last time Andre was here. And from one city square, the big one, I'm now going to nip over to the other city square, which I think is the more traditional one, and it's just down here. There's a bit of a heat wave in Europe at the moment, and even at 8 o'clock in the morning, it feels quite clammy. Although I think that most of the summer is a heat wave in Europe these days. Aye, so here we've got, I think it's called Markt, which is the traditional town square, and that's the town hall over there in fact. And there's quite a bit going on here as well this morning, because I think on Wednesdays and Fridays they have a market in Markt, and they're setting up for it just now. Now of course it's busy and noisy, but it's still nice to see all this stuff going on, isn't it? A bit of a buzz in the city. Oh, I'm getting distracted by bread. I need my breakfast, don't I? And of course, being in the Netherlands, all the flowers blooming, is that what they call them? I think it's better we come back here a wee bit later when it's all properly set up, maybe for lunch. But from what I can see already, the Dutch really like scarves, flowers and cheese. I think that's quite accurate. Oh, look at this place. They've still got the old timber frame, which is still holding up this modern shopping centre, I think it is. But that's really cool, isn't it? And by the looks of things, just along here we've got what I always look for quite early in a city tour, the river. So here of course we've got the River Maas. Now on my map it calls it the Meuse, but of course the Dutch spelling would be Maas. There's quite a modern bridge behind me, but I think we'll nip down to the next one because I believe that's from the 13th century and it could well be the oldest bridge in the Netherlands. Oh, I'm glad this is quite a compact city and I'm not having to walk much. I'm absolutely sweating already. Oh, and here comes the sun. That's all we need, eh? So there we go folks, and it's called the St. Servaas Bridge. I think that's right. You see that massive barge over there? Look at the size of it. And we'll now walk across the big old bridge. Tell you what, it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. Still very quiet here, isn't it? Scrap metal by the looks of it, and a lot of it. Over here on the other side of the river, this street here would take you down to the railway station where we came from yesterday, but I've just noticed that this bridge, the higher part, it actually rises and falls to let the boats past and then let the traffic across. So I'll hang about for a minute and see if I can watch it in action. Well, I'm still waiting. I'll have a quick look at the traffic lights. Nope, they're still green for boats at the moment. Oh, it sounds like it's all about to happen. There we go. And once again, traffic can cross the bridge. But we're also going to head back across the bridge and have a look at what I think is the old town. I think it's just over there. Although, to be honest with you, I could just stand here all day. There's a nice breeze over the river, which you don't get when you walk into the small streets of the city. Although it is very quiet at the moment, it looks like there'll be a lot of people here later. Oh, when they're advertising the Holland-England game. Or should I say Netherlands, sorry, it's not Holland. We're in Limburg. Oh, very nice, look at this. And a lovely big archway here at the entrance. Oh, do you want to hear my Dutch? Gaat hier niet voorbij zonder te zeggen. Ave Maria. No idea. There was a service going on inside, so I didn't really film much, but it's someplace inside as well as out. Sorry, that's the only sound you hear at this time of the morning. Bottles getting renewed. But honestly, it's 9:30 now, and I still wouldn't describe it as jumping. Do you know what I mean? Oh, look at this place. This could be breakfast. And I think that translates as Limburg pie. I would like some Limburg pie. There we go, that's a breakfast. We've got some coffee and some apple and cherry pie. Look at that. Oh, I needed this. Well, that was just, as the Dutch would say, smakelijk. Lekker. Is that right? Yeah, I wanted to come round the back here and have a look because I had my pie and coffee just in the wee cafe there. But this bakery, the whole operation, once upon a time it would have all been powered by this big wheel and the water just flowing underneath there. Now, I'm not sure if they still use the water wheel for the flour, but certainly back in the day, that's how it would all have been done. In fact, can we go in here? Ah, there we go. Aye, and that's the wee bakery I was in just a few moments ago. I know I'm laughing a bit about how quiet it is here this morning, but seriously, what's not to love? If you compare this to, say, Amsterdam at the moment, there's absolutely no contest. Don't go to Amsterdam, come here. Now, which way will we go? This is the beauty of having no real plan. This way, let's do it. There's a few tour groups wandering about at the moment. I think that means we are in the old town. It's just ridiculously beautiful here, but I'll say it again, it's the 10th of July. Where is everyone? Aye, Hellport, 1229. This is the old entrance, the gateway to the city. And just as busy as everywhere else. Message to my Dutch subscribers, tell me in the comments below, where are you all? That's brave to put your car there, isn't it? I've come back to the river just to get my bearings again, so this will be looking north. You've got the old bridge, the city centre, the old town there, and over on the other side I think that's looking south down towards Belgium, I believe. In fact, I think that's where we came from on the bus yesterday, up this road. And over here we've got the Viking Kvassier, big old boat, and it looks like a hotel now, to be honest. We've got the dining room at this side and the rooms up at the other end there. And then as we step off the bridge again, we've got the old town guarded by the city walls. And all those Maastrichtians, look at them all, look how busy it is. Even in this lovely urban park, and we are still right in the city centre, there's barely a soul. Well done, Nederlanders, you're all at work. It's nice just to step out of the city centre sometimes, isn't it, and see the residential streets where people actually live, and it's just as beautiful as the rest of the place. So we're on Graaf van Waldekstraat. I really struggle with this language. I'm not 100% sure where I am, but I've got a rough idea where I'm going, and that's towards the fort, the old city fort, and that's in the south of the city. I think we've still got about 15-20 minutes walk to get there, but it's still a beautiful day. The rain has not arrived yet, keep your fingers crossed. Look at the signpost, you see the wee walking man up the top? That's fantastic. Oh, and look here, we've got the Polis. This must be their headquarters. Quite a nice old building actually, isn't it? And maybe you can tell me in the comments what this represents. Oh look, I've always wanted one of these, what do you think? And I reckon I could sleep in the back. I'm not sure what Alicia would say about that. It's quite nice here, isn't it? That's an understatement. Come and say hello. Oh, you've got a lot to say, haven't you? I don't understand Dutch, I'm afraid. I can see the fort just at the top of the hill now, but I keep getting distracted by these lovely residential streets. Oh, and look, the neighbourhood watch is on WhatsApp. How nice would it be to live here? There's a bit of money in this town, I tell you. And a lot of the houses have got these little mosaics on them as well. It's just lovely, isn't it? But onwards to the fort. So this is Fort St Peter. I've got no idea if it's worth looking at or not, but the views back over town are quite nice. It was worth coming here just for that alone. I'm not really sure what this place is about. I think there's a museum in there and you can go to some underground tunnels. There's tours, but that's not really my kind of thing because they're really difficult to film. So I'd rather just have a look at it and then move on, I think. But places like this certainly give you an idea of how strategically important this part of the world was, and I suppose still is, right at one of the crossroads of Europe. Right, there we go, that was St Peter's Fort, and now we move on. Oh boy, it's getting hot. I think we'll head back into the city centre. I might have a break, might go for a beer. Oh, we can go to the market. It should be a wee bit busier now. Look, he's breaking in. I'll need to nip back to the hotel anyway and apply some sunblock, won't I? My poor Scottish skin. There could be storms in those clouds. Kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Oh, and they're getting a bit darker over behind us as well. By the way, do you notice all the litter everywhere? No, me neither. I can now feel the first spots of rain coming. Ah, well, it doesn't matter, I'm soaked anyway. I'll just battle my way through the crowds now back to the city centre. We should be there in about 10 minutes. Oh, I just love how the big capital cities soak up all the people and leave these places like this. And we're almost back at the hotel, which is kind of over that way, but I like the look of these buildings, so I've been distracted again. If I had been here tomorrow night, I think I would have just sat at one of these tables, had a few drinks of the alcoholic variety, and enjoyed the music. I just went into the tourist information to ask about the football tonight, and they don't think that there's a fan zone anywhere in town. They were saying that here in the Netherlands, it's very expensive to put an event on like that, so they recommended just going to a pub or a bar somewhere. And they said, get there early. Yeah, it's going to be busy, isn't it? Ah, there's a wee bit more life about the place here, isn't there? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what's in this bag, folks. I just stood in the queue and got exactly the same as everyone else. I just pointed when I got to the front. I think that's garlic sauce, and by the looks of it and the smell of it, that might be fish. And here we go, first bite. I don't know, but I think I chose well. It certainly is fish, and it's really well seasoned. It's got quite a spice to it. Nicely fried as well, and the garlic sauce, that just tops it off nicely. I'm already on 20,000 steps today in this heat, so I'm thinking ice cream, hotel, rest, in that order, and then I'll come out later again. I think I've found my ice cream. Dark chocolate and vanilla, both delicious. This is not going to last long. There's me saying I'm going back to my hotel, but I got distracted again. I almost made it though, because my hotel is that room right there. But just opposite, there's a bookstore, and this bookstore is in an old church. Wait till you see this place. Now, is that not just the most magnificent bookstore you've ever seen in your life? I almost feel like I should take my cap off. I had a wee rest back at the hotel and it certainly did the trick, but see, when you come out again late afternoon, this is when it gets really hot in the city. So I'm just going to wander to the park now. It's not too far away, thankfully. I'm going to just be doing as little as possible for the next few hours until the football starts. I've got an idea of a place where they might be showing the football with the biggest screen in town. It's like a nightclub, I think. So I'll head along there. If it's no good, I'm sure we can find a pub. So this is called Fronton Park, and the reason I've come here this afternoon is because it's a wee bit different from your normal park. It's like old fortifications and it's been left to just overgrow naturally. So let's get in there and have a look. I'm guessing this is the entrance, although I can't see much that's saying Fronton Park, but let's have a look at the sign. Ah, there we go. I think we can just kind of follow the zigzag of the old fortification wall, I guess that is. One way to find out. Aye, see, when you're not used to continental summer heat, it can be a bit exhausting, especially with all the walking about that we've done this morning, so forgive me for not doing much this afternoon. There's a sign here, but does this mean the door's open, or is this all locked up? No, I think it's all locked up. What's in there? No idea. Oh well. It's alright down here, but I get the feeling it'd be better up top. In fact, let's go up here. I do love how wild it is up here, but I just keep coming up hills and coming to dead ends. I kind of wish I was on the other side. That looks like it's got a proper path round it. Nope, another locked gate. Oh well. This place has got that vibe of, you know, when you were teenagers and you'd go and drink with your friends. This is the kind of place you would come to do just that. Hey, this is actually a really nice walk. The only problem is over the far side there was a lot of stagnant water. And stagnant water plus summer, we all know what that means, so I was kind of racing through that section, but over here, it's lovely. And at last we're on top of the wall. Is this the way? Oh, I don't know. Aye, there we go, it's one big loop. That's us back where we started, just across there. That's where the map was. The map that, of course, I couldn't read. So that was Fronton Park. I'm going to go back for a cold shower now, and then hopefully find a cold beer. I was just thinking this looks familiar, and you know why? This is exactly where we started the vlog this morning. It was meant to be. There's violins hanging up there. That must be for Andre. As the day goes on, we're starting to see a bit more orange in the streets and on the bars. It'll be interesting to see what it's like tonight, what the atmosphere's like, and if I can find somewhere to watch this game. I'm not going to lie, it was hard to leave the hotel again this evening, but come on, the football's on, I can't not watch it. Like I said before, I've got a place in mind to go, which is about 10 minutes walk in that direction, and if that doesn't work out, I'm sure that any pub will be showing the game, so I'm kind of looking forward to it now that I'm out again. The only problem is, I'm pretty sure the whole population of the Netherlands is in Dortmund tonight. It's only about 100 miles from here, about 2 hours drive, so if I was Dutch, that's where I'd be as well. The place I've got in mind is just over there, I think. Just follow all the orange shirts, I'll be fine. It's another beautiful evening, and I'm so confused because I was checking the weather forecast every single day before I came here, and it was telling me to bring a rain jacket and an umbrella, and that's half my bag, you know. I mean, Ryanair carry-on luggage, they don't give you much space as it is, and all that stuff was absolutely useless because it's been glorious. Aye, there's people in orange absolutely everywhere, but over there I can see a queue, and I think that's the queue that I need to be in. Well, that's me in the queue now for apparently the venue with the biggest screen in the whole of the city, so we'll see if we get in. The atmosphere is building nicely here. I've left Complex at half time because it was just too hot in there. I'm getting too old for this, so I just had to bail, I'm afraid. Good first half of football, I think. The worst thing the Netherlands did though was scoring so early, because that's when England actually step up a gear. But a good game so far. What I'll do now is just head into town and kind of gauge the reaction outside pubs and stuff like that. That's my excuse anyway, to be out here and get some fresh air, but what a lovely sunset, eh? Aye, the streets are fairly quiet tonight, aren't they? And every little pub you pass is absolutely packed, and there's people looking in through the windows from outside. There's just no way I could be in there again though. It was too much. Ah, they've got a big screen here. Still 1-1. Where there's no TV, it's deserted. Where there is a TV, you'll be lucky to see it. Wow, it's absolute gridlock here. There was me earlier, all worried, will I be able to see the game anywhere? Will I get into a pub? But there's TVs absolutely everywhere, and of course, because it's a nice evening, they've put all the TVs outside, which it would have been much better to be in this fresh air than in that like nightclub. 50-year-old in a nightclub doesn't work. Just to make it clear, I am of course a neutral as far as the Euros is concerned. I mean, Scotland went home about 2 hours after the tournament started. But to be honest with you, it'd be great to see the Netherlands score again, just to see the reaction out here, you know? Well, that's it folks, England have won the match. They scored with just a couple of minutes of injury time left. But what a match and what a night. But as for me, I'm absolutely knackered, so I'm out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.